Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV. And hello to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio out of New York. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is fashion, travel, and fitness. And with me, as always, is my friend, co-host. She's a talking head expert presenter here on USA Global TV and an elevated listener. DIANN BOEHM is someone you want to get to know. She is the ultimate connector. And not only is she an internationally award-winning author, she has a heart of gold and is always there with her hands open, willing to help and lift up other people. So thank you so much, DIANN. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. And we have our guest, Flat Stanley from Cato Mills, North Texas, joining us today, traveling around the world. And he stopped in to say hi and be part of our show.
Well, hello, Flat Stanley, and hello, DIANN.
He's from the third grade class in Cato Mills.
Well, that's pretty cool because he was just in the UK on our last show. So he's really getting around.
He sure is.
So, DIANN, we are going to be having a really fun show today, and I'm just excited. We went from a very serious topic, talking about the Ukraine and Russia and what's going on, and we need to have time, right? We need to take a moment. We realized that from the last program, and we're going to be doing that with somebody who has an incredible style and flair and just this great eye. But before we bring her out, I'm going to spotlight you, DIANN, as always, and I'd love for you to share with a first-time viewer or listener, who is DIANN BOEHM and what are you all about?
Oh, you're so kind. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our show. We're so happy you're here. So I am children's author and young adult historical fiction author, DIANN BOEHM, and I write books to inspire you to love people, to be kind to one another. And even if you don't know someone and they look a little different, doesn't mean they can't be your very best friend. And that's what my children's books and young adult historical fiction books are all about. And you can reach me on my website. Thank you, Dr. JACALYN.
Thank you so much. Tell us about Song of Peace.
Sure. So Song of Peace, thank you. Wow, isn't it moving for this time period? I've taken my Ukraine, I stand behind you. That's why I lost my moment. Song of Peace is a story that I wrote and published about 3 months ago. Actually, Texas Sister Press published it. And it's all about a little boy who wishes for peace on earth. And it's a really sweet, sweet story. And it's not just for young kids, it's for everyone because we all want peace on earth. And anyway, it's very appropriate for now, too.
It sure is. Thank you so much, DIANN. We're actually going to play the clip and then we're going to bring our guest out. So this is Song of Peace. Take a look.
Kapayapaan, kapayapaan, kapayapaan.
DIANN BOEHM's A Song of Peace tells the story of a young lad named Tommy, whose fervent wish for peace on earth touches the hearts of his friends and family, spreads to his community, and eventually unites the whole world around making his dream of peace a reality for everyone. Sit down with the children in your life and share Tommy's amazing story of love and hope. Sing your own song of peace and invite the children to join you. Tommy's tale is more than just a story. It's a movement, and everyone's warmly welcome to take part.
Kapayapaan, 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 kapayapaan.
you'll find a song of peace along with many other wonderful learning and enriching opportunities for children of all ages at DIANNFLOYDBOEHM.com.
And guess what the great news is? We have Diann Floyd BOEHM. Really well done. And I'm really grateful to be able to play that.
Thank you. Well, your team put it together and it's so beautiful. So anyone who's watching, who's trying to figure out how to do great marketing with the commercial, they need to contact you, right?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And you used the word beautiful. And we have someone joining us today, our special guest, who, as I mentioned, has this incredible talent and creates beautiful work, whether it's in your home or if it's for staging a property or if it's a model home. We're going to learn more. Her name is Cathy Fulton, and she's an interior designer. She has her own business. She's a female entrepreneur. Yay!
Yay!
She's also teaching courses to help other people understand interior design. Let's bring her on to the show.
Yes.
Hi, Cathy.
Hey. Hi.
Welcome. Hi.
Thank
Where are you
you
joining
so
us from?
much. I live in a suburb in Northern Virginia called Ashburn, Virginia.
I think I know. Well, my sister lives in Sterling, Virginia. My nephew in Reston. It's not that far, right?
Yeah. It's all right next door to one another. We're really, I would say about 15, 20 minutes outside of DC.
Okay, perfect. And Rachel lives in that area too, right? Rachel, babe?
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Yes, I know Rachel.
Fantastic. Diane's like not saying anything. I'm like, yes, that's your daughter.
Yeah, that's right. But also Rachel is the reason Cathy's on our show. So.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes, it is. I think she's got the connector gene that you have, Diann.
I think so too. She's always been that way since the moment she could talk, I think.
Yeah. I mean, the minute that we were catching up, I was telling her what was going on in my life, and she was like, "You need to talk to my mom." And I'm like, "That sounds like a plan."
Well, Cathy, so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. We have some beautiful pictures of your work that we're going to go through. But before we get to that, I'm going to spotlight you and let our audience know, who are you and why is this a passion of yours, interior design?
Well, so I have had my own design firm we're going right on 22 years now. I really can't believe it. And, this started as a passion of mine very early on when I was like, 12, 13 years old. And I credit my success in this industry 1,000% to my mom, Peggy Schuler. She is the one that introduced me to fabrics and design and how to implement. And without her, I would not be where I am today. She taught me all about the art of buying wholesale and how to negotiate pricing. And, who knew when I was in junior high, working with her and, trying to develop spaces in our own home that, and that was like in 1977 when all of that started. Who knew going, forward in the year 2000 that I would literally, what felt like to me, jump off a bridge and start my own business. And, I mean, like I said, I credit it all to her. So.
That's really beautiful.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, it's absolutely the truth. And so my mom is 91 and she lives with me.
Oh.
We are literally joined at the hip. She goes to every appointment with me. She has some cognitive impairment, and I've worked with so many clients over the years that I'm like, look, this is where we are. Can she come in with us? And they're like, oh, we'd love to have her. And, but I was talking to her this morning about, Mom, do you remember, when, because this is what happened. So I grew up in Gonzales, Texas, which is population 10,000 people. And it's still about 10,000 people. It was the kind of small town that, everybody else knew your business before you did, but you know, that's okay. That's the way small towns work. Right. And the housing market back then, and even very much today, it was really difficult to find a home. And so my parents, they approached someone that was currently living in this home and said, you know, hey, we'd like to buy it. So let me describe it to you. Okay, it was built in the 1900s, or it was built in 1900. A 2-story home, beautiful antebellum colonial, 24-foot high ceilings on an acre lot. The only fly in the ointment was it needed to be remodeled from top to bottom. And, you know, that can be a pretty daunting task because, you know, like as I remember walking through the house and it had like all this beautiful floral wallpaper on it, but there were cracks all through it. And, you know, I asked my mom, you know, what's going on? And she's like, I don't know. And I don't know how we're going to fix these walls and what we're going to do, because if you put sheetrock up, then every time that the house moved, which when a home is built in 1900, trust me, it's going to shift frequently. So she said, if we put up sheetrock, it's going to crack. If we put up any more wallpaper, it's going to crack. So anyway, long story short, she decided to venture out and learn how to put fabric on the walls. And she ended up putting fabric on every single wall in that 6,000 square foot home. And it looked drop dead gorgeous. But I mean, and she did all the work herself. But so this is how my love of, you know, fabrics in the design world, that this is where the fire got lit. So, you know, I mean, I was 12, 13 years old. And so I was still her shadow. And we would go and look at fabrics and bring home the samples. And, you know, we would talk about, you know, what would go where in the room and how it would be designed on the wall. And so she would ask my opinion. And, you know, I mean, look, the apple didn't fall very far from the tree, meaning Peg Schuler is very upfront. She doesn't hold back. And so I'm the same way. Ask me a question and I'll tell you the truth. So, you know, I would be like, you know, Mom, that's not going to look right. That's not how it should go. That's not how it should be. And, you know, like by the third room that we were working on, she was like, you know what? You're right. And let me tell you something else about yourself, sweetie. You have a gift. And your gift is that you can close your eyes and you can see the end result of a room before it's even done. And, you know, I mean, people may be going, you know, whoopee. Okay, but let me tell you what, it has helped me in this business exponentially. But had my mom not identified it and told me, you know, look, you need to nurture this, you need to capitalize on it. I may not would have ever paid any attention to it. So she still wanted to kind of maintain control over each project, but she valued my opinion. And, you know, to take it back, we were talking about it this morning and she was like, I do remember. And, you know, and I just told her, I said, because I was telling her about this show and how excited I was. And she's so excited. She can't wait to see it. And, but I said, Mom, I credit you 1,000%. And she said, well, you need to tell these people that, you never know when you're influencing a child. And, you know, she said, I had no idea that this is what you would end up doing. So anyway, so that you know, I just wanted to give you context that's, you know, that this is how it all started. And parents, whatever you're doing, if you're, you know, just when you feel like, they're not listening to me, or, you know, they have no idea, they do. They really do. And I'm living proof. Well, you know, I mean, I'm sure you guys have felt it along the way, right? Yes. You know. So anyway, so that's who I am, and it's, you know, again, attributed to my mom.
Go, Mom!
Yay! Mom's welcome to come on. She can come on the show too if she wants. But I want to start looking at some of these beautiful creations. And if you could
Okay.
tell us what was actually going on in each of these, that would be helpful.
Okay. Well, recently I put this on social media and I got so much feedback about it. Okay. So this was new construction. And so what we did, a lot of times people are like, what is your process? How do you determine, what comes first? Kind of like, what is it, the chicken or the egg? And my response is, look, every project is different and it's going to kind of open up, its own can of worms, if you will. So for this project, the client definitely, hands down, wanted gray cabinets. So in the photography, you really can't tell, but it's like a gray stain, which is beautiful. And it's on maple hardwood. And the backsplash it's all subway tile. And, then we pattern the floor after, just to try to bring in something that would fold in nicely with the cabinets. And so it's more of like a gray wash hardwood flooring. And then we really wanted to do something cool with the island and the bar there. So we created like it's more like a V, and then we just kind of sandwiched in like a piece of pie. And so it's unusual, and they love it, and it looks phenomenal. It's one of those that looks better in person.
Stunning.
I love it. I love the fact that you did the V and put the table in. It really makes you're like using the floor space well.
Yeah. Well, and like I always say, look, the difference is in the details. I mean, like, and I don't know if you could really tell on, like, regarding the hardware on the cabinetry, but it wasn't just stuff that you could get anywhere, and but those things make a difference, like how heavy it is, and so that's what I mean about details, just getting right down to it.
What are we seeing here?
Okay, well, this is a for all intents and purposes, minus the floor, the classic tone on tone. And it is light and bright and airy and classic and elegant. The cabinetry has a little bit of detailing on it, but it's not overpowering. And these people, they entertain a lot. They they just wanted it light and bright, and that's what we delivered, and they love it. It really just flows throughout the house, and it was a hit.
Very elegant. Love it.
Okay, now this one is really cool. So anytime you're doing like these cabinets with kind of an art deco on it, that's going to take the project into clearly a higher, a much higher price point, because that's not your everyday cabinet, right? And so this, you really can't tell in this picture the way that the camera shot it, but it's a huge kitchen. And again, they just wanted something a little bit different, and light and bright. There's a lot of light in there, and we delivered. They love it.
Stunning. Cathy, before we go on to the other pictures, do you work with people in a specific area, or can you work anywhere?
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up. I travel. Yeah, no. So particularly, I mean, specific to Northern Virginia, I mean, we'll go anywhere. But if you need some help across the country, I mean, I'm not averse to getting onto a plane and, seeing how we can work together. And with the beauty of Zoom and, FaceTime and all that's out there, I mean, it working at a distance it's no longer an issue. So, but yeah, we can pretty much go anywhere.
It's excellent. I thought that was the answer, but I just wanted to make sure.
Confirm.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's go on to our next.
Okay, so clearly this is a much more modern design, and I wish that I had a before of this because it was just completely the opposite. It was a colonial, like back in the 70s, the very very dark stained cabinetry, and these people wanted the clean lines. The light, they wanted just a little bit of contrast with the cabinetry on the end. And so, this is what we came up with, and they love the drawers. Drawers are huge now. Because when you open it, you can see everything. And so they absolutely love it. Love it.
Well done.
Okay, so this is at a little beach cottage, and it's just small. It's very about as close to a galley kitchen as you could get. And the way that we took this or tried to take this to the next level is with the point that I was trying to make earlier with the hardware on the cabinetry. So gold hardware on cabinetry is it's all the rage. And it's not, people want to say, oh, it looks like the brass. No, this is not the brass. It's just that brushed gold, kind of like the brushed nickel, if you will. And without this, it would have just been kind of, I don't know, maybe have just kind of fallen flat. But now when you look at it, it's like really inviting, and you want to go in, and I don't know. It's a space that you want to be in. So it turned out great.
I love it. I really love it. And
it's
when
happy.
we look at, it makes you feel good. And so when we look at top trends, is that one of them, the gold hardware?
Yes, it is. Most definitely. Another top trend right now is I don't know if you've seen this, but it's the huge pieces of tile that are, I would say, maybe 24 by 48 inches. And they have gotten this down so well. The tile, it looks like marble, and it looks phenomenal on like a fireplace wall, or perhaps in a shower. They've had the marble look for a while, but when you can put up the big sheets of it so that you have, very little or very small tile joints, it's just, it looks phenomenal. In fact, I've recently done it in my house, and every time people walk in, they're just like, oh my gosh, where did you get that marble? And I'm like, it's not even a third of what marble would cost, because it's tile, and you don't have to worry about all the the structural integrity or any structural issues. And so that's a huge one. But now I can also tell you about some trends that are like on the way out, if that interests you, or,
Yes, I think our audience would love to hear that for sure.
Okay. And so we've just gone through like all of these beautiful kitchens, right? That are in clean, crisp white, right? Okay. They're on the way out.
Hi.
Yeah. No, but there's, hang on. Okay. And so then another trend that is on the way out is, and I hate to say it because some people are going to drop to their knees. They're going to be so mad. But it's the subway tile. It's out. But here's what I was talking to my mom again about this this morning. And I said, Mom, there are clearly trends in the industry. I said, but the way that I look at any industry as to, what's hot today and what's not tomorrow, is that, think about it, folks. They got to have something to sell. They've got to have something new to sell. And my approach when I work with clients is, say for example, you want a white kitchen, you want an all white kitchen, then let's do it. Because if that's what you love, then that's what we should do for you. I'm not going to walk in and tell you, okay, so, all white kitchens are out. I never do that. I mean, if you want orange tile, then for your backsplash, then by golly, we're going to figure out a way to make it work and, have it make sense, because, there's a process when you begin to work with people. And I really like to get to know, how do you live in this space? Okay. Because a lot of times I'll walk in and they just want to get right to it. And my thing is, let's get to know, let's get to know all the specifics, because, you may say something and, we could create the space geared toward that specific activity and just, make it phenomenal, instead of just kind of, redecorating your space. And so there are all these, you'll see advertisements on the internet about, the latest trends or what's in, what's out. I always say, you know what, people, it's kind of like gossip. Just, I get it, but just let's do what you love, because every time that you put your key in the door and you open the door and you walk into your house, you need to be in a space that you love. And that's what I love doing, is helping people create that space, because, there's nothing worse than feeling like, okay, I bought a bunch of stuff just because somebody told me I should, and it's not really me. And so that's why I go back to, if you want orange tile for your backsplash, we'll figure out a way to make it work.
So, Cathy, question I have for you is, how does that affect the resale value of the home? Because everything I've heard is the walls should be blank and the kitchen should be bright and light. And so does a person need to take this into consideration when they're making these upgrades, or if they're, building a new home, or do they just do what feels good and then figure it out later?
Well, glad that you asked, because that's a question, that's one of the questions that I always ask when I'm trying to get to know people and how they live in the space. It's like, okay, what is your long-term goal? I mean, are you going to be here another year? Is this, you're going to age in place? What's the thought process going on? And I mean, if they're going to be there another year, I'll tell them, orange tile for your backsplash could be a deterrent. People could, turn on their heels and walk out, because they're going to walk in and go, ugh, unless you hit that 1 in a million person that, just loves orange tile.
Probably Diane.
No.
I can live with that, so those are conversations that we need to have. So if it's a year, then I would say, okay, so look, why don't we do orange fabric on your bar stools, something that you can take with you when you leave. So, but I get a variety of answers. People are like, I've heard it. I don't care. It's my house. If they don't like the tile, then they can replace it. I've also heard, we'll sell it as is, so, but I do like to have that conversation, so that, we're making informed, or I'm helping them make an informed decision.
Absolutely. Perfect. Thanks for answering that question. We do have some more pictures. Let me get over to here.
Okay.
Oh, is that orange, by the way?
It is. That's a great pop of color. And, I did not know that you were going to pop that picture up, but that's kind of how this conversation went with this client. And they needed to basically bring the kitchen into the 21st century before they put this house on the market. And so these cabinets it's like a putty gray. And so, I mean, it turned out really nice. And I think that the house sold within, I don't know, 3 or 4 days of putting it on the market. It was, it's here in Northern Virginia, but yeah, that's, that's that
Is that a
pop
pool
of orange.
outside the window?
Is that what?
A pool outside the window?
Yes, it is.
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice
Turned out
work.
nice.
All right. How about this one?
Okay, so this one, every kitchen has its focal points. This one, they wanted clean, modern, minimalist look, and the island. Not everybody will take it to this level just because of the costs that are involved, but they wanted to do the waterfall effect on the island, which I think turned out really nice, and just small pendants over the island. And then, you can see that they mixed the metals in this picture as well, which I like to encourage people to do, because not everything has to be matchy-matchy. And so you have the gold faucet, the gold in the pendants, but then you have the stainless steel hardware on the cabinets. So, and I liked the touch of blue on the bar stools. And that was a conversation that I had with them. It's like, okay, so, do you want to add some color? And they kind of hemmed and hawed about, do we implement it on the backsplash? Is that going to be, fitting long-term? Are we going to get tired of it? And so this is how we were able to add some color in.
It's beautiful. I do have a follow-up question. When you say the waterfall effect, what do you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so do you see the end of the island?
Yes.
Okay, so right. Okay, so do you see how it's the quartz? Do you see how that it just continues on down to the floor?
Oh, yes. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So that's a detail, and that's, that will definitely drive up the cost. But I mean, again, how long are you going to be there? What kind of wow factor do you want? And there are many different ways that we can do that, but that's a good one, particularly depending on where your island is and how much of it's going to be seen as you enter the house.
Beautiful. Ooh, look at this.
Yeah. So this is and this is still on trend. This is an example of people using one color of cabinetry on the perimeter and then using another color of cabinetry for the island, which I really like. It's kind of like putting a rug down in a room, which anchors the space. And that's what this charcoal gray cabinetry did for the island. And then we added just a little bit of off-white for the bar stools. And then we also added, this is more of a, it's more of like a ledger stone for the backsplash. And we took it all the way up to the ceiling, which I really like that effect. It makes the room look bigger. It gives you more texture. It adds more interest. And it's not just that 18 or 22 inches that you typically have as your backsplash around the kitchen. And then really what anchored it was, kind of brought everything full circle, were the dark hardwood floors.
All right. I think they're absolutely beautiful. And we've got some more, but we're going to take a break. Thank you.
Okay.
We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back and we'll look at some more of these beautiful artwork that you've done, really.
Okay, great.
All right. So we are going to share a clip that's called Take a Moment, and then we'll be right back.
Perfect.
Take a moment.
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 So I've had the privilege of photographing some incredible people over the years, and during each shoot I've asked the subject to close their eyes and take themselves to a peaceful place just for a few seconds. I've found that this really helps to refresh the energy between the camera and the subject. They had an energy that was quite special and quite different from the rest of the shoot. The collection grew, and now it feels the right time to use it for something good. I think it'd be amazing if we could help to raise awareness and involve people in the discussion about mental health. So what we're asking to do is for everyone to upload their own self-portraits. All of these portraits will become part of a massive artwork. I'm really excited to see this project go from hundreds of pictures to thousands of pictures. Essentially, an ever-evolving artwork that says we're all in this together.
Close your eyes and take a moment.
Меня зовут Маша, мне 9 лет, я живу в Красногоровке, у меня все хорошо. Кушать у нас есть, пить у нас есть, сахар у нас есть, все есть. Только дров не хватает. На буржуйке, когда у нас есть, вот эти мы дрова пособираем, закинем, оно горит. Например, в 10 запалили, в 11 закончили, вода нагрелась, и все, и мы купаемся.
В наш дом 4 было прямых попаданий, так что мы боимся. Человека даже осколками поранило, забрали в больницу с 6-го подъезда соседа, так что мы тоже боимся, у нас много деток. Деваться нам некуда, нас никто нигде не ждет.
Когда вырасти, я хочу найти работу такую, чтобы я помогала людям, которые бедные, там.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to USA Global TV and to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio. Our show today is fashion, travel, and fitness. And joining me, my co-host and friend Diann Floyd BOEHM, and our wonderful entrepreneur, business owner, Cathy Fulton. So when we look at fashion, we're talking about fashion for your home, for your property. And you've shown us some wonderful work that you have done, Cathy. We've got a few more pictures, which I'd love to share with our audience as well. This is crazy. I love this.
Okay. So, I mean, kind of going backwards when in talking with my mom. So, she and I, our connection, our first real connection with fabrics was when I was little and working with clothes. And so she kind of created a monster. And I am hands down a fashionista. So when I work on closets, I mean, I just feel like I'm in heaven. And so this was new construction. So we were able to design it exactly for the space. There was no tearing out. And I mean, it's great. I mean, don't you just love the way the shoes are the focal point? I mean, it's like walking into a candy store for me. It's behind the glass doors, and I just, it's awesome. And you should see. So the other side of the room is the other side of all of her clothes. So this is just kind of like a warm up.
Do you think she would like to adopt me? No.
Hey, I asked, and she hasn't gotten back with me yet. So if she adopts me, maybe I can get you in. You know?
Perfect. We'll just alternate days. I could live just here in the closet. I mean, that would be all. Just bring this screen, all the stuff in. That's all I need.
I know.
And then
I
she
know.
has a hideaway. I mean, she can just sit there in that wonderful lounge chair and read and look at her beautiful artistic shoes.
Right. And, create all these outfits and everything. But it's the other side of the room is even, I don't know, it's even more breathtaking. I just, it's just so amazing what you can do with these closets these days. Anyway,
All right,
I digress.
You do phenomenal work.
Okay. Bathrooms. Okay. So, I mean, a bathroom, they're so much fun to do. So are kitchens, but, you do spend a lot of time in your bathroom, probably more than you even realize. So this is one thing that's really on trend is people really want a nice space because they figure it's the first part of the day that they're getting their day going. And then it's how they wind down in the evening. And so this was a 1970s home, one level, and we just gutted it. And I love how we did the bathtub and just put like a half piece of glass because it's also the shower stall as well. And I just think that that's so cool. And really love the drawer space on the vanity and the vessel sinks. Those are porcelain, but it just turned out great. Love it.
I love it too. I also love, what is it, a 3-panel picture there? Or is that the outside of their house? Is that the window? No.
That's the outside of their house. So you can't,
Wow.
you really can't see. So they were brave. They were like, we don't, it's really, no big deal. But see, the other part of it is there are these windows that, and I can't think of the name of them. You can use them in when you're having business meetings, but you punch a button and it just kind of goes and it looks like it's like ice cold. So you can't see in. And so that's why this is what it is. But it made such a great photograph to show, the green.
I love it. Okay.
How come the water, if you turn on the shower, doesn't it get everything wet? So the flooring's not wood, is it?
Oh, no. It's tile. It's tile. But it pretty much, well, see, there's always like a slight pitch. So the water will it goes down into the drain. You just can't, you just can't really see it. But that's,
it's really cool.
Yeah,
really
it is.
Cool.
It is. Well, so this is, I love this space because I love dark gray and I love how we paired it with a contrasting wood floor and just starting off with the black porcelain tub to the charcoal gray countertops, the gold mirror. I mean, it just kind of speaks for itself. I mean, you don't need heated floors when you have materials that are that warm. It's just a very inviting space. And this was also new construction. So that it always makes it easier when it's that way. But, we can work with a renovation as well.
Absolutely stunning. Something I just want to share before we close out the show is that you have a course. I'm not sure if it's just one course, but you have something that you're going to be talking about now, the Interior Decorators Business Launchpad.
Yes, that's a new course that I have started teaching because I realized that there are a lot of people that they have a passion for design, but they don't want to go back to school to become an interior designer because a lot of people, they already have families established and it just really wouldn't be a good fit to spend 5 or 6 figures on this new degree, particularly if they have children that, possibly will need to use that money for tuition. And so I created this course to show them and teach them that if you have a passion for design. And I mean, this is something that you would like to consider to do as a form of income. I can show you how to do it. But so many people, they are, what I say is the battle always takes first. The battle always takes place first in the mind, meaning if in your mind you say, I can or I can't, you're right. And so we talk about that first, and we really get things straight as to, people are going to want to listen to you. People are going to want to work with you. People are going to want to buy from you. But so that's just the first part of it. Then the next part of it is I teach you how to get your resources together. That's all about buying wholesale and how you go about establishing accounts and how you find wholesale materials. And then the third part of the course is it's a very interactive course, because I could sit there and teach you all of the, how to walk the walk, how to talk the talk with design. But if you don't know how to implement that, then it's all for naught. So I teach you how to present your ideas, how to sell your ideas, meaning you're going to have to sell, you're going to have to present your ideas to me. You're going to have to sell it to me, and then you're going to get feedback. So I basically hold your hand all the way through. And then the last bit of the course is basically how to set your design business up. So it's actually a business. But people love the interactive part, because it's just like I said, and this is what they say, I mean, I could read in a textbook all day, but if you don't, I mean, think about it. Approach is everything. And if you don't know how to pitch your ideas, then you're kind of, you're dead in the water, right? And I mean, in every aspect of our life, you're always selling something. And it's no different in the design world. You've got to, but you have to know how to lay it out. And what a lot of people get tripped up in as well is that they think that it's got to be all driven by technology, meaning they've got to show up with all these SketchUps and mood boards and all that. And my thing is, if that's what you want to do, that's great. But let me tell you how I do it. I'm old school. I show up with fabric samples. I show up with tile samples, carpet samples, samples that people can hold so that they can walk around the room. We can hang it up. We can, throw it here, throw it on the floor. And it hasn't been a deterrent for me, meaning I'm not the best at technology. I can send an email, I can send a Word document, I can do a spreadsheet, but all the other stuff, it's a little bit of a challenge. So, I mean, you've got to do what works for you. But in this course, I want to give people the confidence to go out there and live their dream. And I feel so bad for people that are just scared and just really feel like nobody's going to want to work with me, because it's not true. So that's what this course is all about.
Wow. I love the level of education and support that you provide. It really is a full service course from A to Z.
Yeah. We just don't have, it's not all like videos and a few worksheets. We get down into it. So.
Very exciting. Cathy, I'm going to spotlight you again. Your banner is up, but for people on the radio who are listening and can't read it, and people who want to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to contact you, and who would you like to contact you?
Well, anyone that is needing help with remodeling their home, remodeling a single space, new construction, designing their kitchens, designing bathrooms, really whatever you need help is in terms with design, feel free to reach out to me. One great way to contact me is by my cell phone. That number, would you like for me to give that number? Or
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. So my cell phone number is 703-895-3798. If you would prefer to send me an email, that is Cathy, and it's spelled Cathy, and then it's Fulton, Fulton, 1965 @gmail.com. If you want to check out my website, you can go to cathyfultoninteriordesign.com, and you can see a lot of the work that we were talking about today. I also have another website that showcases a lot more of our kitchens and bathrooms, and that website is cabinets, INC.com. So I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to work with you.
CabinetsIncVA.com.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, perfect. I have already checked out your other website. It's great. Cathy, it's such a pleasure to have you. I hope you'll come back because we have lots more to talk about, many more pictures. I'd like to sort of dig into the course a little bit more as well. And please do feel free to schedule again.
Oh, listen, I can't thank you enough for giving me the opportunity to be on your show. This has been a breath of fresh air. It has been such a gift, and thank you. It has been so much fun, And so yes, I'll come on whenever you invite me. So thank you.
Fantastic. And we'd love to meet your mom too. If she's up to it, she can come on the show as well and say hi.
Oh yes. She okay. So she'll be my little guest associate next time.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Great.
Yeah. She's a lot of fun. So,
right.
But thank you again.
Thank you. We'll see you again soon.
Okay. All right. Have a great day.
Thanks. You too. Bye.
Bye.
I just love that. I learned so much, and her work is spectacular.
It is. And I had to keep my mouth quiet because I so much wanted to ask, like when she was saying what's coming in, what's coming out, I was like, I really love to find rooms. So my home is very old-fashioned in the sense that I absolutely love a formal dining room. I love a formal living room. We have our family room. I just love that space. But it all flows really nicely. So if you're having a party, you just flow. And people are like, you need to knock that wall down and just make one giant kitchen. I'm like, but I really like a formal living room. So I'm hoping she's going to say formal living rooms are coming back.
Well, I just from meeting her, having her here, she could come on this show every week because she has so much to share. And it's particularly interesting as well because it's everyone, I shouldn't say everyone, but people who have the benefit of having a home, they have the ability to make it personal, but not everyone has the skill or the insights. And to work with someone like Cathy, you can really transform maybe just one small space to your entire home. And it just changes your mindset, your perspective, your mood even.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could tell from the various pictures she sent us that if you have small spaces, like John and I, one of our very first houses, our kitchen was very tiny. But you could tell that Cathy knew how to make that kitchen work. And I was like, oh, I needed her 20 years ago. I did not do a good job.
Well, it's good to know that she'll be back and she's bringing her mom as well. So that's exciting.
Absolutely.
Diann, I'm going to spotlight you. And for people who want to reach out to you, what's the best way and who should contact you?
Sure. You can reach me at my website, DIANNFLOYD.BOEHM, DIANNFLOYDBOEHM.com. And I write children's books, as you know, as well as young adult historical fiction. And I also go to schools and help teach with creative writing, work with teachers, as well as do speaking engagements. So anyone who's interested in any of that, just give me a shout out at my website. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Diann. It was a pleasure seeing you for 2 shows in a row. And Flat Stanley, thank you for being here.
You're welcome. I know these 3rd grade kids are going to be so excited, and their moms, I'm sure, will start watching the show. So
fantastic. We'd love to have them. So I'll see you backstage.
Will do. Bye, Dr. Jacqueline.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching, for engaging with us. I know many of our viewers watch after the fact because obviously we can't be on everyone's schedule when it's appropriate for everyone. So we're just happy that you watch us on the live or the replay, or you're listening on the radio. We just really seriously mean it, that it means a lot. One thing I wanted to share with you, for those of you who are just joining us, in addition to running this platform at USA Global TV, which is my pride and joy, I also have a second business. I'm a certified life and career coach. I'm a certified meditation teacher and a certified yoga instructor. And I teach people how to listen. If you would like to learn how to listen at an elevated level, whether you're a business owner, you're in a relationship that you're struggling, or you're just interested in being able to listen to your intuition, please go over to my other website, which is drjacalyn.com, and join my elevated listening community. In addition, I teach courses on how to listen, and we have a course coming up next week, next Tuesday, the 15th, and it is the Power of Listening Part 4, the transition, facing the shadows of ourself. What does that mean? As we move from a 3D world that's based on ego, capitalism, materialism, and we move into a heart-centric world, what happens in between when we're there in the 4D world, if you will? So I'm joined by Madeline Chan, who is my vocal coach, and she's also an internationally award-winning singer-songwriter. And finally, you can go over to Eventbrite to sign up for any of those courses. I have my second book coming out. It is called Adversity to Awesome. And in there, the first chapter is about something that happened to me many years ago that I kept to myself and really affected my life. So I share that with anybody who's interested in reading the book. And also it's true stories for other people who are survivors of imprisonment, addiction, sexual assault, and more. And you can go over to Amazon and pre-order right there to get your copy. Otherwise, the paperbacks are available April the 4th. Okay, that's enough of my announcements for today. Thank you so much to Diane. Thank you to Cathy. And thank you to all of you. We'll see you back here shortly for the Business Talk Show. Bye for now.